Are you serious? Are you serious? Ferguson, Missouri. This situation is totally out of hand. And I'm sorry, but I watched last night as armored vehicles, SWAT teams, what looked like paramilitary guys, looked like mercenaries with high-powered rifles and tear gas and rubber bullets, and they were just, it's insane what's going on. And folks, I'm sorry, but maybe I should raise my hands now before somebody decides to take a shot at me, because I'm going to tell you something right now. This thing is abuse of power. America is becoming a prison planet or a police state, whatever you want to say. I mean, what do you want me to do? It is actually happening. And here's why. As you know, everywhere in these little towns across Indiana, I keep coming across armored vehicles. Matter of fact, we got one or two of them right here in Lafayette, not just down the street from me, but then they're everywhere, and even little towns, little villages. There's this heavy-handed police presence that seems to be being instituted around the country. Now, I'm all for law and order. You got to have it, or you'll have one of a third world country. I understand that. But what we don't need is such a heavy-handed approach that people get their constitutional rights run over. And that's what it appears to be going on in Ferguson, Missouri. Let me just read to you. Police have used tear gas, smoke bombs, rubber bullets, and armored vehicles to repel the crowds who were throwing, and these crowds gotten out of hand. Okay, they had gotten violent. They had caused some rioting. They had did some looting and some violence of some of the businesses there. Because why? Because I'm not sticking up for what they did. That's wrong. Peaceful demonstration, that's good. All right. But the reason the folks are so upset down there is because in the suburbs of St. Louis, Missouri, they're in Ferguson, an unarmed 18-year-old boy named Michael Brown was shot 8 times in the face with his hands up. Folks, this is out of control. And the police chief had said that race relations were the top priority in the town, where white police officers, and I'm not going to go down this racial issue. I'm talking more about the heavy-handedness of the police mentality. I'm concerned about the brown shirts who are already running the FEMA camps. This mentality is permeating throughout this nation, and our constitutional rights are in jeopardy. People are being detained. People are being stopped in roadside inspections. Cars being searched without search warrants. People are being intimidated. But anyway, the police chief says that where an officer shot a black teen. Now, authorities have vowed to reach across the racial and economic and generational divide in a community in search of answers. And in the streets of Ferguson, the police dialogue was heard at a community forums and news conferences is nowhere to be found. So instead, the officers, multiple departments in riot gear and in military equipment have clashed nightly, 4 nights in a row, with the protesters who chant, "Hands up, don't shoot." I mean, folks, this thing is completely out of control. I mean, what I'm beginning to see is, if this isn't brought under control, and they've still not released the name of the police officer that shot the young man. I mean, this is insane. You got to be transparent. I thought the Obama administration was going to bring forth a more transparent America. If anything, we have reverted way backwards. There is no transparency. The only transparency are things like Lois Lerner loses her emails, and now 6 other people say they've lost their emails. I mean, there's nothing transparent. Nobody's held responsible for nothing, whether it's the Benghazi or Fast and Furious or the NSA violations or none of this stuff. So Now some of the journalists were arrested last night. So this is getting out of control. We really need to pray because this is very big concern I have for this country. Folks, let's not let this country get out of control. We must stand together on our rights as citizens, no matter what color, race, creed that you're from. You stand with what's right. And I can tell you now, I'm standing with the family of Michael Brown that was gunned down in cold blood, according to many eyewitnesses, execution style, with his hands up. Are you serious?